Okay, I think this is going now. The part of the lab we're going to be doing, and I'm going to move my screen around in a moment here, is we are going to be burning iron and sulfur. Here's what the iron filings look like. Here's what sulfur looks like. We did those in an earlier part of the lab. I'm going to pour a little bit of this sulfur in here. I'm going to mix the iron and sulfur. I'm just sort of mixing them right in here. I'll be right back. I had to go get my magnet, which I forgot, and a little bit more iron because there's not enough iron. If you hear some background noise, I'm working inside a fume hood because these fumes are going to be nasty, nasty. So here is my mixture right here. Not mixed very well yet, so I'm going to mix this a little bit better. I'm looking for somewhere to throw this. I'm just sort of pouring it back and forth right now to mix this. I don't know if you can see that. Yep. Okay. There. So there's what this looks like now. We're supposed to test this with a magnet. So here's our substance, and I'm going to hold this magnet here, and you can see it following around. Maybe if I got this up a little higher, you can see this following around, and I'm going to get a little bit more sulfur in here now. Some of it fell out. And we are going to put this into a test tube. So what I'm going to do, and I'll show you this in a moment, I have a test tube, and watch what I'm going to do here. And I'm the only one who's going to use this balance. So I'm going to put this test tube on the balance. I'm going to press the 0 button. And we can see that I've got 0 in there. Hang on. You're not doing anything right now. I'm pouring the sulfur into the test tube, and I need both hands to do that. I'll show you in a moment. There it is. Now I'm going to put this back on here. And this is the mass of sulfur that you have, 1.657. If you were doing this in class, I'd make you weigh the empty test tube, add your materials, and then weigh your test tube again. That's because other people would be using the test tube or using the balance, and you wouldn't be able to get a good, accurate reading because somebody come and pressed here while you were on there. Okay, make sure that's still going. That's a little bat that somebody, little pretend battery operated bat that somebody put in my fume hood. Okay, now I'm going to light the burner. And you can't see that I'm lighting it, but you can trust me, I am. And the burner's going. See if you can see the burner's going. Yes. And we're going to watch for evidence of a chemical change. So here's what the test tube looks like right now. And we're going to hold this in the flame. This is in the fume hood. And if you watch, I don't know how much you can see, but if you watch carefully, I'll show you in a moment, you can see that it's sort of turning colors. We're getting sort of a red color and yellow. This is going to get very, very, very hot. I'll turn it this way. I'm in a fume hood, so I've got the sash pulled quite a ways down, so I'm looking through a sash at this. Now, I don't know if you can see in there or not. Let me see if I can get all the way over. Yep, you can see it's glowing red. This is getting super, super hot now. Remember, we're going to decide if this is a chemical or physical change. So we know what our original substance looked like. We can see that there's something yellow on the sides of this. There's glowing hot. Something yellow on the sides. In fact, right there, it almost looks like a liquidy reddish thing. What in the world could that be? So I'm just going to heat this for another short period of time. If we were in class, I usually do this one as a demo. Often I demo it for a small group, and then one person from the small group that I demoed to has to demo it to the next group, etc., etc. Because this is going to trash this test tube, and I don't have unlimited access to lab supplies. Now, I don't know how well you can see this, but this is glowing. I think the official scientific term is super-de-duper hot. This is seriously hot. Okay, so this is probably good enough for what I'm doing right now. I might let this go a little bit longer if we were in class, but I still have to get this out of here and weigh it back. I don't want you to have to sit and watch this forever, because I'm not going to be editing anything. Okay, so there it is. This is hot. This is very, very hot. I'm going to turn my burner off. Burner's off. I'm going to try to find a clean spot in my extremely dirty hood. Can't find one. But I'm going to see if I can sort of tap this out. Usually not, but it's going to start a paper towel on fire right now if I break it. Okay, so I'm going to have to break it. That's me getting a paper towel. I'm going to wrap this up in a paper towel. I'm going to do that in the fume hood because this is super hot, so I'm sure I'm going to, let me see. No, it's not starting it on fire yet. So I'm just sort of wrapping it and take the burner and there, broken. And now I'm sure I didn't bring a tongs over, but I probably have one in a cupboard right where I'm standing. I do. So let me see if I can pick this little piece of this up. Here is here is what this looks like after I get it. There's still attached to a piece of glass. So I'm going to try, there it came. So here is our, where's my camera? There it is. Here's our substance. Right there. Take this out so you can see a little bit better. Where's my camera? I have to look around if I can. Okay, so there it is. I don't know why it's not focusing on this. There we go. You can see it's sort of changed color a little bit. I've got both hands holding used right now, so I'm not being able to do very much of this. So now, I'm going to set this on the counter. You can see it. I'm going to turn it over. It looks very different. It's pretty hard. And now we're going to test it with the magnet. Got to go get my magnet. Here's the room that you'd be in if you were here. And let's see what happens here. There, it did sort of stick to it a little bit, but it's nothing like the iron filings. And if I could get this hotter, you know, if I'd heated this up a little bit more, I probably wouldn't be able to do this at all. Okay, there we go. So this is still a little bit magnetic. If I'd gotten it hotter, if I'd heated up a little longer, it probably wouldn't have been. But this is very light. I definitely can't see any sulfur in there anymore. you know, if I squeeze it, I can sort of get it to break up a little bit, but it's definitely, I don't see any sulfur, that original sulfur in there. Oh gosh, I forgot to weigh that back. Well, there's absolutely no possibility this is gonna weigh back. I might have to do that again. But anyway, I'm just gonna tell you what happened because I don't have time right now. So if I would have weighed this back, we would have lost a little mass. Why would we lose mass? Because we were, smoke was being given off. And even though we all know that mass is conserved, we would have lost a little mass. So whatever our original mass was on there, we would have lost just a little bit of mass. And then I would have asked you at the end to discuss why we lost mass, and you'd have to say that it was lost to the atmosphere. Anyway, that's it.